Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny and welcome to Relentless and Unstoppable. We have another amazing guest coming on the channel today, so please hit like and subscribe. And after this episode, please stay tuned to the RNU channel for more amazing guests. Let's get this on!
Hey everybody, how you doing? Just a quick little share of why I started Relentless and Unstoppable. It was for one very simple reason, because of Doug Kenny. Nothing to do with me at all, zero. I was just coaching Doug, and he took on the coaching and mentoring, and he made all the changes. He took all the suggestions from his parents as well as my coaching, but it was all about Doug, his breakthrough and his weight loss, his willingness to accept that he is dealing with high functioning autism and other issues, but he's never quit, he's never given up. So we did one interview with him to share his story, and then we decided to start interviewing other people. And Doug has now taken over the whole channel, and he does all the interviews, he runs everything. He's just an amazing young man. So RNU was born from simply what an amazing young man Doug is, and his story needed to be shared.
Well, the process, it was at first, you really don't think about how scary it is, because you never want to do a movie, that turns out bad when you're trying to fit it into this amazing catalog of movies, especially the first movie. But we had a lot of help, and I had a great team. So kind of going into the project, I didn't really think about all the, oh no, we better not screw it up kind of a thing. I was just excited about the premise. So I thought we had a great premise to start with. And we had a great team. We had, our writer, Tom Rogers, great writer. And we worked with Roger Allers and Irene Mecke, and Roger was a co-director on First Lion King, and Irene was one of the co-writers on the First Lion King. So they worked with us like at least every week. We saw them. They helped write scenes for us. They were a part of all the meetings. And that really, really helped, because part of doing a sequel is you kind of think, you want to make sure it holds up to the feature, not in the sense of, oh, it's better or as good. You just want to make sure it's not like something that kind of ruins the mythology or takes the characters in a direction that you shouldn't have taken them. And if you're just making the sequels without working with the original team, you have no idea. You're just doing the best you can, right? But having Irene and Roger there every week was a key to the success of the project, because they were there to tell me, oh, are you going too far? Am I going too far with the humor? Is this scene, this scene that we're kind of taking a humorous spin on what really happened in the original, is this too far? And they were really a part. They loved the humor, and they came up with a lot of the funny gags and everything. So it was great to be able to show it to them and say, "What do you think? Too far?" And that was really, really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Just curious, were you around at Disney when The Lion King, the original, came out?
I was not a part of Disney. Or no, I might have been. That's a good question. I might have been working. You know what it was? I was actually doing storyboards on the Aladdin TV series. So I was at Disney. I remember going to one of the Disney events. It was like the big creative sort of, everybody in the lot. They have like a showing of all the different movies they're going to be coming out, and they invite all the employees to fill into a theater. And I was there for that, and that's when I saw the Lion King trailer for the first time, and I was absolutely blown away. It's my favorite teaser trailer of all time. I mean, there was, no matter who you are, you just had to see that movie, and that was the first time, because I always see the animated movies, but that was the first time it became, I have to see this movie. was a great, great trailer. So I
It's
was
interesting.
there.
Yeah, for sure. And what was the reception like from what you remember of the first Lion King
The reception at Disney or just in general?
in general?
Oh, it was humongous success. I think it was the most successful movie, most successful animated movie at the time of all time. It was absolutely, it was like huge success. It became like one of those movies that's an iconic movie, one of those things that it's an iconic movie that nobody will forget. And then the stage play even furthered that.
Yeah. I read that a couple years ago, The Lion King was selected for preservation by the Library of Congress, rightfully so.
Absolutely, yes.
I remember watching that growing up, and I love the chorus of the soundtracks and the Circle of Life intro. Like, yeah,
Wow, yeah. We actually used we were actually lucky enough to work with Le Boheme, who does the voice of that famous voice at the very beginning of Lion King. And I can't remember I don't want to ruin the words, but that voice that just kind of cries out at the very beginning, the singing. I can't remember what the actual lyrics are, so I don't want to do it. But you know that famous beginning as the sun's coming up, and we got to work with him, and he came in to perform some of the new songs that we had, and it was just an honor to meet him.
I bet. Were you starstruck and all that?
I'm always starstruck. It's always great working with the celebrities that I work with and that I'm lucky enough to work with. It's great just to be able to meet them.
It's
And
interesting that you brought up the Aladdin television series because I was a devout follower of the Disney television shows after their main movies, but I did not know about the Aladdin series until I was like 10 years old. And when I looked at clips on YouTube and Vimeo and all that of certain episodes, like with all the bad guys Aladdin encountered on a regular basis compared to Jafar, it's like, man, he went through a lot of hardships to go from a street rat to a prince.
absolutely, I know it's so funny when you compare that to what a person in real life would go through if they had to go through that many, adventures. It's amazing. Yeah, that was a fun show to work on, though. Having to, you have to learn how to draw all the characters when you're doing storyboards on a show like that. Plus, the schedule is a lot faster, so you have to draw them fast. And they really do use your drawings as a starting point for animation, especially in television animation. So it was great working with those characters. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I did notice in the show as well that Iago didn't really change as far as a person. I mean, he changed in the sense that he defected from Jafar, but there was still that selfishness in him that he couldn't let go, if you know what I mean.
Yes, a lot of times, depending on how long the series is going to run, there's not like really fast character arcs and character changes because it has to hold the same basic characters throughout different storylines. It's a whole different
Yeah.
technique. Yeah.
When I saw the third Aladdin movie about the 40 thieves and all that, and when Iago gets sentenced to life in prison with, Aladdin's dad, Cassim, what I thought it was a little harsh considering that Iago was only an accomplice and that he had in the past saved Agrabah from Jafar. But then when I watched the television show and see all the tension he was in with the royal family, even after he was pardoned for the crimes against Jafar, I just remember thinking to myself, yeah, it's not surprising that the Sultan gave him the life sentence because he probably wanted to do that the minute he saw him in Return to Jafar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, there's a point where, you use up all your second chances, and Iago obviously did with Cassim.
It's true.
Yeah, so anyway, what was working with the cast like in The Lion King 1.5, knowing that it didn't really change?
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia, saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Chee.